Good morning and welcome back to my channel, my sporadic channel, the channel that I just pop on when I want to. And thank you to those that have recently subscribed. This is a small upcoming channel, and so I have 50 subscribers, and I'm super excited about that. So thank you so much. I'm going to go back to the weekly vlogs because I went on a whole rabbit hole of watching the 3 that I posted late spring, and I really loved them. I liked being able to share what I was reading each day, and yeah, I just liked it. So it's a great time capsule. Sorry, I'm just clicking on my Kindle so I can show you what I'm reading. Anyway, this past weekend was a good reading weekend. I was able to get 3 books down, which was my hope. I did have Friday off for Veterans Day, so that plays a role in it. And this month I've read a total of 6 books. It is the 14th, so I feel somehow I'm behind because I read 18 books last month, and I'm usually about on pace for 2 books or a book every 2 days. But that's okay. I'm just going to push forward. I have a couple of audiobooks that I'm going to read, and that should help move and enjoy. I hate to be like on this I want to read so many books per month thing, but like it's hard to not be that way when my reading has been like to the next level. Anyway, so far this month, I've read the graphic novel Pumpkinheads that was recommended by Bookish Knitter. She'd recommended it on Halloween, and I happened to see it at my library the following Wednesday, and so I just picked it up. I read it literally in one night, like 40 minutes, and I was done. I've read The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. I do like Christina Lauren as a writing duo. And then I listened to the Tom Felton biography or memoir. I bought the book because, hello, Tom Felton, and I love Harry Potter, but I actually ended up buying and using an Audible credit to listen to it, and it was so worth it. He tells an amazing story, and I really enjoyed it. Then this past weekend, I read For This Christmas Only. It's a Harlequin special edition, little cute Christmas story. I also read The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. I had this book in my mental TBR since summer, and I picked it up when we traveled to Duluth a few weeks ago. And then last night, Sunday, I finished Death by Bubble Tea because everybody had been talking about it, and I was so excited to dig into it. Okay, so I'm currently reading, and I picked this up yesterday, The Fine Print. It is by, I don't remember, Lauren Asher. And I've seen this at Barnes & Noble. I've seen it on Book Talk. I've seen it on BookTube. But I wasn't sure if it was my thing. But I decided I was going to pick it up, and I'm speeding through it. It's written so well. It's got a little spice to it. Like, I'm here for it. It's just what I needed. And it's a series. I think it's a 3-part, like, brothers standalone stories. So I'm on the first one, and hopefully that keeps getting better so I can go on to the next. I also downloaded The Parent Plot. It's a Sweet Valley Twins or Sweet Valley High book. I read those on Kindle Unlimited, sometimes as palette cleansers, and I haven't read one in a couple months because I ran to a part of the series that I was like, okay, I don't need to read anymore right now. It's in the 60s, and this is book number 67. And then I also downloaded Christie's Worst Idea, which is book 100 within the Babysitters Club. I also read those as palette cleansers, and thought it would be a great fun book to read on my downtime. I'm also listening to a couple of Audible originals, the little short novellas that have this full cast, and I love those. So that's my Monday plan, and I will check back in soon. Good morning, everybody, and a happy Tuesday. I am coming to you with my next day of reading. I signed off yesterday kind of early, but I ended up finishing The Fine Print. I had that book on Kindle. It's on Kindle Unlimited. It's by Lauren Asher. I'm still thinking about it. It's either a 3.5 or a 4-star. I thought overall the story was pretty good. It started dragging in the middle just a little bit for me. But basically it's like a Grumpy Sunshine. We have our main characters who work together. Rowan is the heir to this sort of like Disneyland, Walt Disney World place. His grandfather gives him and his brothers a mission, and one thing he has to do is like reimagine this dreamland. And so his coworker, oh my gosh, what is her name? Stop it. How can I forget? I had to look it up. Okay, Zara is an employee, and she gets the job by basically talking about how horrible Dreamland is, and he hires her. Anyway, he immediately has a crush on her. It gets kind of weird for me, a little spotty. So it starts with like he has a crush on her, and she clearly likes him too. They're both attractive people. He comes to her QB at one point and just like lays this massive kiss on her. She reciprocates, she loves it, and then they just stop talking. And she doesn't like him, and he doesn't want her to report him to HR, so he pretends to be a artist that is going to take her renderings of what Dreamland should look like and fix them up. And he starts communicating with her over text, and she's really friendly with the person. He's named this person Scott, and they have a good like banter back and forth, and it's great. Shoot forward, he finally comes clean that he's Scott, but apparently they had been talking for months. In my reading, it didn't feel like months, but they had built this huge relationship. So, of course, Zara is upset that he lied to her, and he's like, look, let me prove to you that I am Scott, personality-wise, and let's hang out and start dating. They do. Everything's going great. A couple of steamy scenes, and then he decides his dad is kind of horrible. And although his grandfather has this intention for him to build out Dreamland, his dad is like, yes, that is your only job. Do not get wrapped up with a girl. And so he breaks it off. And then they get back together at the end. Whatever. Same thing. And so, yeah, 3.5 or 4. I need to mull on it a little bit. I will go to terms and conditions, but I don't think right away. So what I'm going to read right now, well, not right now, but today, I'm going back to Throne of Glass. And so I started this book a couple of weeks ago because I read the whole ACOTAR series and loved it. And everybody said, if you read that, then read this, because I still like her writing and her worlds. This is Sarah J. Maas. So I was reading and got to like page 216, and Lily did not know what was happening. But I do remember in a Court of Stars and Thrones, what is it? Roses and Thorns, whatever. I didn't know what was going on a lot in that first book, but then it started picking up. So I want to give this a chance, and I'm going to be reading that Babysitters Club on the side when my brain can't take this anymore. So that is my plan. Hey guys, welcome to Wednesday. It's about almost the end of the day, late afternoon. And I just wanted to check in. So yesterday, I think I only got like 1 or 2 clips in, but I was going back to Throne of Glass. I seriously had to DNF it, guys. I can't do it. I'm going to try Crescent City later, but I just am not finding joy in reading Throne of Glass. And so it's slowing down my progress for the month, and it did the same thing last month. So I'm just DNFing it. It's just not my bag. So instead, yesterday I picked up A Very Merry Bromance. I bought this a few weeks ago. I've read all other 4 books in the Bromance Book Club series, and really enjoyed the stories. They have a little bit of a lull in each one of them, but the concept is cute. In this story, we meet Colton and Gretchen. Colton and Gretchen have a one-night stand at Delle's wedding, I think. I think he was the last person to get married. And Gretchen leaves him in the dust and ghosts him. And it's a year later, and Colton is a musician, and Gretchen's family's business is whiskey, although she is an immigration rights attorney. But her family has asked her to connect with Colton to get him to be the face of their whiskey brand. She does it in a stank way, right? She's like, look, my family wants me to do this. I could care less about you, but could you do it? And he's like, no. And then she comes back around to him and is like, hey, I really need you to do this. And now the part that I'm in is they're in their first date, technically their second date, and she's being horrible, but we know this will turn out for the better. But anyway, I'm already on page 87, and I started it yesterday evening. So to me, this is like how I know a book is good, is when I am speeding through it. And not speeding like, but from last night to this afternoon, I'm on page 87. That's decent. I mean, I work a job. I've got kids. We got other stuff going on. Yesterday we had trumpet practice for Reagan, and Reagan's homework this week has been nothing but reading, like 50 to 75 pages a night of reading. And so I'm trying to help her get through that. And as she's working through 2 books for her class and stuff, so it's been busy. So my point is, I'm already on page 87 and a lot has been going on, so that tells me it's a good book. So I'm going to continue reading this. Today is Wednesday, which is our Read with the Dog night. So Reagan goes to the library and the rest of us come with, and she reads with the dog. And it's good family time. We're like not on our phones, we're away from the TV and distractions, but I also get to get to the library every week now. So I have 3 books I'm looking for sure. Maybe 4, but I had a meeting with my coworker today, and we're new coworkers, so we were trying to connect and meet each other, and we both had mentioned we liked books, and so she was giving me suggestions, I gave her suggestions, and I'm going to look hers up because I already looked them up. They're available at my library, and now I'm going to pick them up today, so I'm very excited about that. Anyway, I will check in. Bye. Good morning and happy Thursday. I'm so excited. It's almost the end of the week. Yesterday was a pretty slow day at work, but today is very busy, and so I'm just jumping on real quick before the mayhem starts. Yesterday I did finish a book. I finished A Very Merry Bromance. I thought this was good. It was one of the better books of the bunch. This is the 5th book in the Bromance Book Club series. I've read them all. I think I only own one other one, but I read the others through the library, and it was really good. It did definitely take a turn, so if you are reading and you've read the other books in the series, it definitely goes like off of what the normal formula has been. We dig a lot into our main characters, Gretchen and Colton. I think Gretchen, we met in a past book. She went on a date with Mac, and that didn't work out, but Gretchen and Colton have a spicy night. And it's at Mac and Liv's wedding, actually. I think I said Dell before, but they have a night. They reconnect because Gretchen needs something from Colton, and of course they start falling for each other. But not to give spoilers, it just gets a little bit more intense at the end with Gretchen's family, as she comes from this rich, like, bougie family, and there's a greedy brother, so, like, you know how that goes. So I finished that. I did rate that 4.5 stars on Goodreads. I was feeling generous because it was really good. There were some parts in the other series that I had to skim a little bit because it would get like really not necessary to the plot. I did not need to skim anything in this book. It was great. So 4.5. But like I said, I think it's definitely different than the normal pattern of the other bromance books. So next up, I am reading Babysitter's Club number 100, Christie's Worst Idea Ever. I just started that last night. So I finished Bromance around like 9:30, and then I picked up the Babysitter's Club, and then I fell asleep. So I'm going to try to get through that. It's only 122 pages, so I don't think it'll take long. However, if I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. I've so far read 9 books this month. It's the 17th today. Yeah, it's the 17th, so I feel like I'm getting on par, but I still would like to read more. So then after the Babysitter's Club, or maybe simultaneously, I'm also going to pick up Bloodmarked. This is book 2 in the Legendborn series, and I started it just barely. I think I'm on page like 19, and I loved Legendborn. I flew through it. I thought it was so good. This book came out 2 years later, though, so it's kind of hard to get back in the world. I did, in fact, try to what did I do? I tried to reread Legendborn before reading this, and I just couldn't do it because it's so big. But they're giving a lot of backstory, so I am into that. And then I'm also listening to Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, very spottily, but I want to get that done this month if I can. So those are my reading plans today, and we'll see how far we get. Okay, so it's still Thursday. I haven't gotten any reading in yet. But I wanted to show you the books that I got from the library last night. We go every Wednesday, as I said, for Read with the Dog. And I picked up 3 completely random books. So I got highly influenced by booktubers, and then, as I said, I had a meeting with one of my coworkers yesterday. We started talking about books, and she gave me some recommendations, so I just picked them up. None of these are in my comfort zone, but I thought if I get through some things, then I can come to this. So the first one I picked up is 6 Crimson Cranes. I got this from a YouTuber, Throne of Pages. I found her a couple months ago, and for me, she's hit or miss because sometimes we don't read the same genre, but her content's always great, and sometimes just a great background. But this is a fantasy book, something magical. She has powers. I think her stepmom or something doesn't want her to have powers and curses her brother, something like that. So it is a teen book. So we'll see. I mean, the font's decent size. So we'll see if I get through this. And then my coworker recommended quite a few books. Some I'd already read, but 2 I hadn't. So the first is called Yerba Buena by Nina LaCour. No idea what this is about, but I'm going to read it. I'm going to attempt to read it. And then the other one she recommended was Yinka, Where Is Your Husband? And this is by Lizzie Damilola Blackburn. Again, not really sure what this is about. I think a girl in her Nigerian family, she's not married and she needs to be, something like that. So again, things that are out of my comfort zone, I thought I'd give them a try. So I did pick those up yesterday. And like I said, those aren't on my immediate list to read, but that's what I got. Hey guys, welcome to Saturday and the end of my reading vlog. This has been a great week. I think I got some great titles in. I am currently still reading Legendborn. No, Bloodmarked, the second book in Legendborn, and I'm really trying to give it a try. I really enjoyed Legendborn, and the second book is just a lot to catch up on. Like I said before, it was like 2 years since the last one came out, and so like just trying to overall figure it out. But comment down below what your favorite book was that I read this week, and we'll see you next week. Bye guys.